Hi, Christine with Lone Oak Farm. Today for our tour, we're going to start out in my kitchen because I want to show you my sweet potatoes. I have started sweet potatoes a couple of times, and the first time I did, and it worked out really, really well, but I wasn't using a calendar, so I didn't write down the date, so I had no idea when I started them. And a couple years ago when I did it, I wrote it in my calendar, and I started them on April 1st. And it was not early enough. I made a note to make sure I remembered that was not early enough and all. I did not get any slips, so I had to buy them. So this year I started them on March 7th, and I think this is April 21st. And I think this is going to be this is just about right. Make sure you can see them. You can start sweet potatoes two different ways. You can start sweet potatoes two different ways. You can put them in water like this. And this one you can see, let me see if I can pull it out. It's kind of wedged in there a little bit. It's growing roots. So it will start having, right there, there is some growth started. But I did it both ways so I could see which one is going to work better. This way you cut it in half and just kind of press it down into the soil and then water it, keep it watered. And you can see this one is winning. This way is far ahead of this one. And I'm not sure why. I had really good luck using this method before. But this sweet potatoes, you plant slips, which a slip is these growths. You just cut off a piece. I would cut it off here, put this whole thing in water, and it will root. And it's very, very easy, and it will root very, very quickly. So I'm letting this one, let me come back up a little bit. I'm letting this one grow so I can cut it into several different pieces because I need about 45 of them. So I'm hoping I don't have to grow any. These are actually my sweet potatoes that I grew last year. I had to buy them last year. And then I still have some in the cupboard on the back porch from last year. And so these are actually my own. So that's exciting. It's self-sufficiency. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different places that is coming up that is sprouting right now. So that's really exciting. The other side isn't doing as well, but this is amazing. So let's go take a look around the garden. These are my cannas. My mother was gracious enough, since we don't have a basement or a good place to put them that's safe, she let us put them in her basement for the winter, and they are all alive. You can see they actually, some of them have growth, but I waited till they were nice and dried, and then I laid them out and put newspapers in between the layers. So you guys want to take a look around. There's my pineapple plant. I can't wait to put it outside and see if it actually grows a pineapple this year. But there is these are pumpkins and squash and zucchini and stuff like that do not like to be transplanted. So all of them are in peat pots. These are actually nasturtiums, and they do not like to be transplanted either. So they're also in peat pots. But there's some more okra and a few more squash and zucchini and my sweet potatoes and a few more other little things that I'm just kind of waiting on to get. I'm babying them just a little bit before they get taken out to the greenhouse, and then all the plants. And after this is the final, hopefully the final really hard frost, so hopefully everything here can go out to the greenhouse, because it's kind of taken over back here. We had a hard frost last night, so I brought a little space heater out here and ran it for a couple hours in the evening. I love this creeping phlox. It's this time of year when the daffodils are done and the summer perennials really haven't gotten started, that the phlox is just beautiful and just takes center stage. I started out with one clump and I have divided it multiple times so that I have a little bit tucked in here and there all along down the perennial border here in front. And I just have the one color, and I know there's so many more colors, but I just love this violet, blue, purpley kind of color. I just love this. This is my last bit of daffodils that are blooming. And yeah, there's the last little bit here. And this is what we've really been working on. I'm tired of seeing the loads of bricks everywhere, so I'm kind of started, but it's the beginning of it. There's a roll of plastic down there. We've used all the piles up till there, so we have enough to go past the raspberries, I think. So, but that's a project for another day. I'll kind of pan over the garden. There's not too much change. Oh, here, the allumes are just starting to burst open. I'm so excited. I was so worried about them last night because we've got that hard frost, and people were putting online how they were covering everything up, and oh heavens, it just kind of breaks my heart. You know, I sit there inside going, I don't know where I would begin if I was to cover anything up. So I kind of just left it up to nature, and everything looks really good. It's actually the first thing I did when I got home from work is come out and make a pass through the garden, and everything looks really good. The only thing I noticed was there's one rose bush up here that had a little bit of dieback on the very top, like it was a little bit soft. I will show you, but that's the only thing. The rest of it looks really good. My onions, they look really good. They're a little smaller than the ones that you would buy at the store, but it's okay. I'll just start them earlier next year. Live and learn. And most of these blueberries I planted last year, there's a place up by Kansas City that I bought them from, and I bought them from several other places that they just didn't do well. And these look really, really good. I actually have quite a few blooms, so there will be a few blueberries. I'm gonna have to look into getting some netting because we also have plenty of birds that would like to take them. This is the bush right here. It's a New Dawn, and the tips of it look just a little wilted, which is fine. There's plenty of growth down below. And the asparagus I was worried about, I came out last night and cut everything that I could. And I don't know if you can see, maybe if I get down a little bit, they look fine, what was left. In the distance, you can see we had somebody come in with a tractor, and we had 2 piles of old hay and manure, and one of them is the small one on this side right here, and it can be used now, and the other one is fresh and will have to sit there for a while. But I'm so excited because that tells you what kind of person I am when I'm excited that there's a pile of compost and manure and stuff. So, and actually this weekend my plan is for the strawberries, because we've got some more mulch, and so I need to weed it and mulch it, and it'll look really pretty. So next week, that's what you'll get to see. And this is a different variety of allume, and I actually left it, I put it here because it's supposed to be a really, really huge one. It may not be huge this year because the bulb was kind of small, but you can tell by the foliage that it's a different variety. And everything has been done except these 2 last rows of blackberries. And I'm quite a bit embarrassed, but I have tomorrow off early and I'm off Friday. So I'm hoping it's nice enough that that's all I really want to get done. The strawberries will have to be after this. I have got to get these two rows weeded. And I started weeding these. And actually when we were, let me show you. The row, they look terrible right now, which they always do, but we did plant some elderberry starts over here. And I'm not going to cut out my other row of elderberries until I know that the row along here has taken and I have a full row of them, and then I will start cutting out that row the one in the middle of the garden that is just taking over. But the good news is when we were digging them out, I noticed one lone black currant that was the original spot they were at, and it was coming up in the middle. So I quick dug it out, and I'm all excited that my row is full now. And these are getting ready to bloom. The painted daisies. And this was the first batch of alums that decided to pop their little heads out. They'll be in full bloom first. And there is one lone columbine back in the back. For some reason I just have one this year, but it's a beautiful color. It's a deep red burgundy color, but let me see if I can get out of the light, sorry. The bleeding hearts are beautiful. There's actually, I transplanted some stuff from this side over to here, and I didn't mean to, but I have one lone little one over here, which I think is terribly cute. And my rows of spinach and the broccoli. And these are all starting to open up. And there's the more mulch that we've got. Oh no. Okay, here's my first little bit of damage that I find. It's a grapevine, and all the edges have been nipped by the frost. I don't see the ones that are growing up. The trellis are not like that. It's just the ones that are close to the ground. This one also has some damage. That is too bad. And there's another little batch of balloons here with some roses. And I have been working on this because this area is what I really, the pathways, just to get all the bricks done, but I want to get this done too. So we have dug out and burned some more, and I've kind of sprayed a little bit for the weeds, and there's hydrangeas that we placed in over here. This one don't look as good, but that's okay. So it is a little cool this evening, but it's fine. I'll take the little bit of cool just to know that everything survived. So, well, it's been fun. If you've enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Thanks.